Welcome to another episode of the Whole Ass Show, where today we are going to be watching Dayseeker song called Paper Heart. He's never heard of it. I have. It's my all-time Dayseeker favorite. Um, so we'll see what he thinks of it. I am Right Cheek, aka Kevin,
Left cheek, aka Dustin.
and between us is a whole bunch of bullshit. So we'll see. See how he likes it.
Meh. They do.
I'm feeling reckless tonight, so I think I will go for a night drive. Feel the tears flood my eyes, so I think I will drive on the wrong side. Can you see how it ends? My car's at a place on the riverbed. All my thoughts pushed aside, like it's quiet again for the last time. Don't turn around if you
So, heard of other songs? I already tell that this is kind of different from, you know what I mean? So I kind of like it. That's why I like them because they don't just stick to like one sound. They kind of change it up. So, it's almost like when we watch Bad Omen stuff. Like they don't just stick to one sound. They kind of just
Flips throughout the
yeah.
song.
Not only that, but they change their styles from track to track.
can't bear to see the rain that can fall when I'm buried beneath. I'm not made of stone and I'm not a machine. The weight of the world is too much for me to hold. My paper heart will fall.
Way of the world. Paper heart. Cold. Concept.
Thought you would,
Yeah.
kind
yeah,
of
That's an interesting concept.
relate to it, like
Yeah.
how I relate to things. You know what I mean? That's why it's my all time. It is my all time like Dayseeker song. They have really good songs all around from old albums to albums, and this is on their newest album, right? And like this is like I'm like
Yeah.
this is it. Like
It-
I really like the song, and I feel like I myself connect to this song.
It was just what? Just your favorite song.
Oh, this is like my favorite like all time Dayseeker. Like it just like I feel like I connect really well with this song. It's just like they have their I mean I've listened to Dayseeker from their old albums to their new albums, but as soon as this song came out, I'm like this is like my all time favorite.
Okay. I like it. I like the concept of it. I've never heard it put into things like. Well, I've heard it probably in a different way, but I've never heard it actually said like that.
In the form of a paper heart.
Yeah, the way
Yeah.
way of the world. My shoulders can't hold, but paper heart it'll fold.
If I last through the night, could you tell me again I'll be alright? On the
on the surface, it seems collected and calm when you need me. Well, I took it as like, well, first off, as a man,
Yeah.
like, you have to be strong. You got to be strong for your wife or girlfriend or whatever, for your family. No matter how hard like your job is or how shitty your day has been, you got to come home and gotta not put on a happy face, but like, oh, how was work? Oh, it was okay.
But see,
You know what I'm saying?
in,
Like,
in the same way though that you talk about that, is it the same thing? Like when people say we should do demasculinization. You know how they say, oh well, to be a man, you have to be masculine. Part of masculinity is, don't talk about how you feel. Don't talk.
right,
That's bullshit.
right, right.
But
But we've
I'm
been.
guilty of it.
Oh, me too.
I know.
I mean, we've. I mean, it's kind of embedded in us now. You know what I mean? Like the whole, oh, be a man. Like, why don't you be a man? You know what I mean? Like that type. So I mean, you don't talk about, you don't talk about your feelings like that or anything. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
um, that's why I like the song because it almost like speaks for me without me having to say anything. That's why I like it.
Remember those little fortune things?
Yeah.
That's a good concept too.
Yeah. But
Depending which way you open is going to depend on what you're going to find out.
right. So I mean that's why I like the song. It's because it kind of says what I can't say or what I don't want to say. You know what I mean? Because I mean obviously as a guy you just kind of take the burden on yourself
Yeah.
and you don't want to pass it on to somebody else, especially like your significant other, and your family and shit because you as a man, you can deal with it, right?
Mhm.
Because you're taught to deal with it and you just kind of like, oh,
You
it's
su-
my problem, I'll fix it.
You survive.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like it's my problem, I'll fix it, don't worry about it.
Yeah, and
You know what I
that's
mean?
another thing I have issue with is making everything. Not everything. I make a lot of stuff my problem.
Yeah.
And I probably shouldn't.
I mean that's kind of I mean what's known to be a guy thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's a typical guy thing. Like, oh, why don't you show your feelings more often? Like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, because
That's always my answer. You know what I mean? Like,
crying me doesn't fix nothing.
it doesn't.
If it's something you can,
It doesn't.
If it's something
'Cause-
you can get mad about,
Yeah, I mean,
but you can change it.
Yeah, but I mean, as a guy, you're a fixer. Like as okay,
As we are.
Yeah, as a
As we
typical
are.
as a typical like normal guy, like you fix things. You're a
Oh,
fixer.
bro.
Huh?
Can't say normal.
Whatever. I said it. I said
Okay.
what I said.
All right, I'm gonna leave it in there.
I meant it. I don't care.
I mean it too, but I just
Yeah, no. As like, the typical like man's man, like, like that's what you do. Like you just deal with it. You fix things.
yeah. And
You know what I
see,
mean? Like no matter how like what the problem is, you just either find a solution or just say fuck it and move on to something else.
Yeah, and that's like the whole thing. If you There's two things in your life. There's things you can't change and there's things you can change. Why get mad about the things you can't change
When you
and
can
still
spend
keep fighting on it?
when you can spend your time working on the things that you can change.
What's worth more? Like,
Right.
can't, and that's like another thing I tell my kids. I'm pretty sure you may have heard me say it before. Like, why walk forward looking behind you? You're going to trip.
Right.
You can't get nowhere looking behind you.
Right.
You just got to keep on pushing. And for my kids, I want my kids to pick up on that. But like, they are my legacy.
Yeah.
And I want them to be able to be the kind of people when they grow up, they can just keep moving
Right.
forward.
But that
And not get
goes
hung up.
But that goes into the whole, kind of oh, why don't you just be a man? You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
but
take
it is.
like the whole, the take it like a man kind of reference. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, for me, I always tell her to take it like your mama did.
pause. But you know what I'm saying? Like, but you know what I'm saying though, right? Like, like the phrase, oh, be a man. Like, grow up, be a man.
Yeah, take
Like
it.
that's. But I really like the song because like, like I said, it says to me, like the way I feel about it is to me, it says what I can't say. Not that I can't say.
You don't know how.
Yeah, not that I don't know how, but things that I don't want to say because it doesn't matter. Like as a
I
like
know, no. I know what you mean. Like
you know what I mean.
you do understand that part of the reason why we're able to do this together is because of the way we both look at stuff,
Right.
and because of the way we both see things. Like if you're going to take on the role of being a man, then be a man. That doesn't, and it's something that we are learning. I'm pretty sure we are still learning.
Right.
Is how to be expressive.
Right.
Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
because
I mean, especially doing this.
yeah. Well, I mean, I could talk to you about some things.
Right.
It's not that I can't talk to my wife, but
Right.
it's things that I knew that wouldn't burden her. And
Right.
it's probably you can relate to how I'm feeling on
Right.
it. So
Right.
it just works.
Right.
It works. Like I don't want to stress her out. And this song it does fit that criteria because
Right.
I always feel like I'm going to crumble, but and nobody really knows that because I'm going to make sure my wife is happy.
Because as the man, as the the actual man, like only you can fix you, and only
Yeah.
like you can fix your problems.
Yeah.
Right. So you deal with it. Like yeah, you have a support system, right? Like because like you have a support system and I have a support system,
Yeah.
right? But growing up as oh, be a man,
Yeah.
like we know that we have to fix it, and part of it is you taking on your responsibility for your own shit.
Yes.
That's the thing.
But see, that's the problem with a lot of people nowadays is accountability because they have that paper heart and because they weren't shown how to have that paper heart with reinforcement.
Right.
That might sound tacky to some people, but that's the easiest way I can explain it.
Right.
Because if you know how to build a wall, it's going to keep whatever pressures inside safe.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Let's carry on.
Go back about 10
To
seconds.
your knees, I'm collected and calm when you need me. Do you really want to see the forest in through the trees when it's quiet again for the last time? So don't turn around if you can't bear to see the rain that can fall when I'm buried beneath.
Why, like in the chorus, it poses the question: "Don't turn around if you can't bear to see the rain that can pour." You know what I mean? Like when I'm buried beneath, right? So it's almost like the way we feel. It's like, don't ask me how my day's going if you really don't want to know, because like we will tell you and you're gonna be like, oh no, I can't handle this.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like some people just can't handle it,
And they
So-
feel like they're getting overloaded.
right. So like and it's almost to the point where like sometimes like your significant other might feel like you're kind of either blaming them that you are having to deal with it because of them, and you're not. You're just dealing with it because as a man, you just deal with shit.
And see, that's
Yeah.
like whenever I asked you the other day about how was work going, and you said something, I responded back like I'm about to fucking explode. You called me,
Yeah.
and it's like that helps because
Right.
normally I wouldn't say nothing. I would just soak it in.
Yeah,
and
but
then it's like trying
see-
to go to bed that aggravating.
But see, me being that type of guy, I'm like, yeah, I've been there before. You know what I'm saying? So
we
so-
work with dumbasses.
right. So
Sorry.
but
I wouldn't say dumbasses, but lazy individuals with lack of motivation.
right. So like that's why in the chorus he says, "Don't turn around if you can't bear to see the rain that can pour when I'm buried beneath." Like if you actually don't want to know, don't ask me, because if I tell you, you're gonna be like, "Oh shit, like really, like that's what you're dealing with."
But with that, it can also be interpreted as don't ask what was wrong when it's too late.
Kind of like
You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like what made why was he like this?
right, but it's
It's too
almost kind of like don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah,
If
but
you think about it, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
like careful what you wish for.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like careful what you wish for, because if I start telling you, you're gonna be like, oh shit, like that's what you're dealing with. Like, oh fuck, and then they in turn they, obviously, like our women, they tend to kind of like um obviously sympathize, right? So that they in turn take it on upon themselves to kind of
Yeah, but can't you like beyond? I'm sorry. Like honestly, like for if a woman's ability to sympathize, but yet whenever like for instance, whenever I say, "Hey, I'm about to fucking explode," and you call me, you know, we're able to talk to one another a different way than we can talk to our wives.
right.
Like, yes, we can tell them what's wrong. We can tell them how we feel, but at the same way, if you call me bitch and raising hell cussing, I know you're not. It's not me.
Oh yeah.
Like you just need to get it the fuck
but
off.
that's
like
what I'm
some
saying.
people can't interpret event
Right.
versus anger.
Yeah,
Like,
they
if I
can't-
call you,
well-
it's because I depend on you.
Right. But sometimes, sometimes like, like I said, like sometimes I'm not speaking for all women, right? But sometimes women will tend to
Even friends.
right. And
Male
even,
or
and
female.
even yeah, and even friends will tend to take on these things like, well, shit, like fuck, am I making you feel like that? Like, can I do something? It's almost like, can I do something to make you feel better? And just like, nah, dude, hey, I'm just letting go of some shit. Like,
Can't you just listen?
yeah, right. Like sometimes, like we just like as men, we just like need to talk and like just to like hear the words come out of our mouth, and as soon as they come out of our mouth, we kind of delete them from our brain, and then it's gone. But that's because of how you've been brought up,
Just
to
let
kind
it
of
out,
kind of
go.
like let things go and just move on.
Yeah, let
right?
it out, let it go.
But sometimes like you need to talk about it in order to hear the words come out, and as they're coming out, they're just like
you're
deleting from your brain, and then you're good.
that, or you're readjusting how they made you feel.
Right.
Like, I'm angry right now, but after I get this off, I'm gonna think about what the fuck I just said, and I might apologize because it's not you, it's not me.
Right.
It's just the things around us.
Right.
Jesus, dude, we can talk.
Yeah.
All right.
I know when I'm buried beneath. I know I'm made of stone and I'm not a machine. The weight of the world is too much for me to hold. My paper heart will fall. It's safer if I don't reply. Stay locked up for weeks at a time. 'Cause nothing can hurt me if I wait till the chaos collides.
Is that my truck in the bottom right? Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna hit play.
No. So did you hear what he said? That it's safer if I don't reply,
Yes.
stay locked up for weeks at a time, because nothing can hurt me if I
Don't reply.
no.
No, that's how I take
Right,
it.
right.
Like
So
it's better
it's
if I
safer-
don't respond.
Right, exactly. So don't ask me, because if I do, like, either you might feel hurt from what I say, but it's not directed towards you, it's just directed at the situation of what I feel.
Okay, but like you just said, you know how they always say pick and choose your battles. While people pick and choose their battles, I have to fight in here about pick and choose what I say,
Right.
because it might create more problems than it's worth me getting it out.
Right. Right.
I don't want to be disgusted with something or with someone, but then again, it's hard to get out somebody what they're doing that's causing the problem, and instead of them just being like, okay, yeah, maybe I should step back and recalculate or redo or rethink how I'm about to do this or how I'm about to say this, because it's taken me over 13, 14 years in my relationship to think before I speak, and it's taken me a long time. And now it's like before I do anything, like I try to always think before I say something. Like, how is this going to affect her? Is there a different way I can say this? Or like even with my kids, because we love our kids, but we still need to be blunt and reinforcing and guiding. So I can relate that. Like, it's better for me not to respond sometimes. Like sometimes it's not anybody. We just need to be left alone so we can figure out how to talk.
It's safer if I don't reply. Stay locked up for weeks at a time. 'Cause nothing can hurt me if so don't turn around if you can't bear to see the rain that can fall when I'm buried beneath. I'm not made of stone.
That hits on so many different levels.
I'm not made of stone, and I'm not a machine.
Yeah, it hits on so many different levels, and I apologize. I keep pausing it, but like some of that shit, I don't want to talk over the music, but some of that shit really hits home. Like that shit right there. I'm not a rock. I'm not a machine. A lot of people think I am because to a lot of people that think I'm as happy as can be. I'm not even trying to fucking write another verse of the song, but unfortunately, that's how my brain is. Like I'm always thinking about what I just said,
Right.
and I hate it. But I wish I didn't overcalculate. But overanalyze. That's what it word. But damn, dude, that actually makes me kind of feel. I ain't gonna lie, that makes me kind of feel a certain way, like what he just said.
Buried beneath. I'm not made of stone and I'm not a machine. The weight of the world is too much for me to hold. The world won't need to know. Won't let you get too close. My paper heart will fold.
See, you know,
Bro,
when he says the world won't need to know, won't let you get too close. It's almost like a.
I'm gonna say something to you. Fuck you. Not like I hate you. I don't say that to people. Like unless I really mean that. But in this particular instance with that song, because I didn't want to feel a certain way today. But like that's 100% relatable, and I think that's probably why we get along. And it's funny because our wives both tell us like we try to get y'all to talk before.
But like a
But
like
who
a
we are.
like a typical man. I mean, you just hide shit. You know,
Well-
like you kind of hide from, you know, like you hide like your true words so that you don't hurt somebody else's feelings. Especially
right
like
there.
so you don't hurt somebody that you care about's feelings. You know, fuck everybody else, because I can tell you straight up, like if I don't like you, I'm gonna tell you straight up what I feel,
And
right?
see,
But
that's where we relate because within 3 to 5 seconds, I know if I like you.
Right. So, but when it's somebody that you care about, you don't want to say what you feel. You don't want to say what you feel and
No,
what you're
you
thinking.
want to say what you're thinking.
Right, but you don't want to say what you feel or what you're thinking because you don't want to put that kind of pressure on them, because they'll probably take that as, well, shit, am I doing something wrong? Can I do something better? Can I help you with something? And
By
that's
the way,
that's not it. You know
what
what I
he
mean?
just said, I'm not trying to cut you off at all, but what he just said, he meant it differently than what he just said. He saying that to someone we care about versus saying to someone we don't have particular feelings for.
Right.
Not just because we just don't like them or whatnot, but just in general, like what he's saying, because you kind of said it a little bit differently, but I know what you meant.
Mm-hmm.
He means saying that to someone he cares about. Just like for me, saying something that I care about, like, you know, no bromo, but I can talk to you,
Right.
and it doesn't affect me. But at the same time, what did we say in the beginning? Like somewhere throughout the video, it's hard. I don't want to just call you and be like, yo, da, 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 da. Like, you know, if I message you and be like, yo, I'm about to fucking explode, and your ass calls me back, you already know what's about to happen.
Right.
Just like if you send me that message and I call you, I already expect it.
Right.
But not everybody can, and that's I think where a lot of problems with relationships and friendships have issues.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, man, like I've been this way for so long
Same here.
that it's just one of those. It's my thing. Don't worry about it. I'll deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, and
And-
it's not like you know, it's not that she can't help. It's just that the way that I'm built
We
is
don't want to burden them.
right, and the way that I'm built is, you know, oh, I'll handle it myself. Oh, but I can help. I know you can.
Which is also why you know you can call me.
Right.
So if y'all need to talk, shoot us a DM.
Put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments. Hell, leave a message and ask for a DM. If in a message or a DM, and you know, with that right there, and we're not bullshitting. I'm being serious. If I think I can help somebody, if you want somebody that's going to talk to you, that's going to be blunt and be honest and be straightforward and not going to sugarcoat it or be, what's that fucking terminology? A yes man. A yes man. I don't want to be a yes man. I would rather help you. And with that being said, I really appreciate anyone that watches this, likes it, and shares it, subscribes or follows, and he does as well.
Yep.
But this song it's crazy. That's a 4-minute 40-second song, but on how many different subjects that touches on,
right.
I'm just gonna upload it raw. Is that okay with you? All right.
So like, follow, subscribe. We'll see y'all next time.